Hello, everybody, and welcome, welcome, welcome. It is finally time. Today is February 12th. It is the day of the Super Bowl in America, although, I live in the future, so it's actually still Saturday, I think. Although, I don't know. Hey, Siri, what time is it in California?
In Sacramento, California, it's 22:29.
Yeah. So at least in California, it's still yesterday. So sorry if I just activated all your series. If you're people that have one, I have a nice home pod. I really enjoy it. So anyway, so I will watch the Super Bowl. It's live here in Japan for you NFL fans on Monday morning at 8:30 a.m. That's the time that it starts. But of course, I have to go to school. In years past, I've had no classes on Monday morning, so I've maybe taken a half day and been not feeling well and watched the game and then gone to school at like noon. But I can't do that. I have morning classes on Mondays, so I have to go. But yeah, I just kind of, nobody at my work. There's only one other American who works at my school. And so I'll just say, hey, Kevin, don't mention the game. And nobody else will talk about, none of the kids, they wouldn't even know. So I can go all day without anybody telling me the score spoiling, as long as I don't really go out like on Twitter or the internet. So I'll come home and I have like the game, what is it called? Game Pass app. I pay money to be able to watch NFL here in Japan. And I can watch the whole game. I can watch it without commercials. I can watch a 40-minute version, yada, yada, yada. Don't really care who wins. San Diego Charger fan, LA Charger fan. So yeah, just want a good game. Just want a good game. All right. So that's happening. But I had some free time here. It's Sunday. And I finally wanted to get around to the wrap-up video. So thank you for everybody that's gone by. I haven't even looked. Let's screen share right away and jump on the internets. And how do I hit share? Okay, we're going to get to that. That is about the contest. But let's just go to YouTube. I'm actually on my old page, which I can't even sign into YouTube anymore with my old email, that used to be the channel. So if you type in Sumo Jason, I think I come up now. Yay, there I am. So 2.97K subscribers. All right, 6.6K views on the start of the new channel. So it looks like we're off to a good start. I'm almost, yeah, just shy of 3,000 subscribers, which, the channel's only been up. When did it go live? February 4th. So yeah, basically a week. So thank you to you 3,000 people. You're probably watching this video because you're a fan and you want to hear more about sumo. And thanks. I don't know what else to say. That's so awesome. I'm actually kind of touched by that, that even though I'm not going to be doing match coverage, that you're willing to subscribe and join the sumo community, etc. Some people said that, not some people, I should give credit to the person who suggested it. Damn, what was his name? I can't remember. Anyway, he sent me an email and actually I might be able to give him the credit. Hold on one second. Well, I shouldn't do that, but let me jump over here. How am I going to do this? I got to move you guys over there. Jump back over here. No, I want to go to no. How do I do this? I see how I do it. Okay. Go to Gmail. And I can give this fan who came up with this idea. Yes, Jonah. Jonah, who has an excellent last name, Jonah, suggested that I post little 5-minute like recaps of the day. Like I'd originally said, oh, I'll definitely post on day 1, and then middle weekend, day 7 or 8, and then I'll post on day 15. And he was like, you should do like little 5-minute videos, just talking about, oh, this person won, this person lost. Well, wasn't it amazing when this happened or this happened? And then that way the comments will be open and the community can still kind of rock along and people can say, yeah, oh my God, you got to check out the Wakataka Kage match. So it was so great. Did you see that Kimarate and the Ichinojo match? I can't believe you won like that. And we can still kind of have this kind of active positive community that I feel like we have for the most part, and talk sumo and have somewhere to go to chat about sumo. I mean, I'm sure Nato Sumo and some of the other people have those kind of community interactions, but we don't know what's going to be happening with Nato. I think he's going to try to come back, but I mean, he's just trying to stay one step ahead of the sheriff at this point. Kintamiyama, I don't think is going to be back in his regular format either. Although he might take like March off, let his copyright strikes, they go away in 90 days, let them expire, and then come back in May. I don't know. So yeah, let me know in a comment. If I pointed out that Tachiai page where he mentioned all the different ways you can watch. And so I think there are ways you guys can watch. If you want to share some good method you have, if you're not in Japan, obviously, most of you aren't. If you're in America, in Europe, how are you watching? Are you using a VPN? Are you trying to watch a BEMA? Are you watching Twitch? Are you just going to watch the NHK World highlights? Which is absolutely a good way to do it because you get, nice highlights, edited well, great camera angles, and in English. But you just have to wait, right? So you kind of have to be a little bit of a day behind. I've really gotten into this. Wait, the unsweetened green tea. Very delicious. So yeah, I mean that's definitely an option. The basho normally ends at 6 p.m. Japan time on any given day, right? And their first highlight package doesn't go up on their website, NHK World, until 1 a.m. Japan time. So that's 7 hours between the end of the tournament day and when their highlights go up. And then it's up, and then it's up again, and it's up again. I think somebody said that it stays up now, either on their YouTube page or on their actual website. I think it used to go away to be replaced by day 2, day 3, and so on. But now, correct me if I'm wrong, if you're an NHK World watcher, does the day 1 highlight stay up for the duration of the basho? I'd be curious to know. So anyway, but yeah, I will not have regular match coverage for you in March. So we should get that out straight out up front in case you didn't watch the other video where I said welcome to the new channel, but welcome to the new channel. So what do I want to do in this video? I want to talk about what happened in January. I want to just, some nuts and bolts sumo. I want to talk about what we can expect in March. I am going to see live sumo in March. I just got my tickets from Jeff over at buysumotickets.com. Thank you, Jeff. So I'm going to be taking my niece, Brittany, and her husband, Alex, and the 3 of us are going to go. And we're going on day 14. So should be an exciting day. The Saturday before Senshiraku, the 24th. If you're going to be in Osaka and going on that day, let me know. We can say hello to each other at the venue, the Edion Arena in Osaka. Yeah. So that's coming up. Oh, of course, I want to talk about the contest. We had one kind of, I gave away some stuff, and then I was like, okay, try to predict who's going to win the basho and what the record is going to be. A lot of you picked Takikeisho, and I'll get to that. And then, a bunch of you correctly picked his record would be a 12-3. In fact, 60 of you, exactly 60. I thought it was 59, but it's 60. 60 of you correctly picked 12-3 win by Takikeisho. So you are all eligible for a prize. And so I will get to that after we talk sumo a little bit. So stick around. If you're one of those, if you're one of those 60 people, you have a chance. And I'm going to do the kind of random Google number picking right here live on this video, and you'll watch along with me. So that should be fun. I think in the other video, I incorrectly said that some prizes came from Jason and Nick, and some things that were given to me at the dinner after the Hakuho retirement ceremony were actually from Sarah and her friend. So Sarah, if you're watching this, thank you for some lovely little things. I didn't mean to say that somebody else gave them to me. I appreciate that. Jeff said, oh, no, wait, I think Sarah gave those to you because she gave some to me too. And I'm like, oh, no. Not that Jason and Nick weren't very generous and kind that evening as well, as were Rich and his wife. Yeah. Thank you, Sarah. and your lovely friend. Okay, so what do we want to talk about? Two people that wanted the 2022, the old calendar that won, Joseph L. and Vincent L., never emailed me back. So if you happen to be watching this, you two people, I'll still, I don't have the calendar. That was where two people in America that had the calendar were going to be nice and mail you their old calendar. I'm assuming that those two people will still have it and still mail it. So if you are those two people, email me, and I will try to get you, in touch with this other person. They'll mail you the old calendar, as long as you live in America. That was their one stipulation, because obviously they don't want to pay out of their own pocket a lot of international shipping, and I understand that. So if you're Joseph L. or Vincent L. and you were one of those people that wanted the 2022 calendar in that giveaway, get in touch with me. All three people that wanted the 2023 calendar, Ryan, Anthony, and Kip, have all been taken care of. I mailed them their prizes. And some people are even emailing me now from the November basho when I posted stuff in December, that they're just now getting it in like late January, early February, because I had to send a bunch of the stuff surface. There's still restrictions on what I can send airmail. And they're like, hey, Jason, my prize just arrived. And I'm like, wait, who was this? And then I look at their email. And it's like, oh, you won in November. So yeah, but they do get there. I very rarely lost anything in the mail. So if you're a prize winner, just be patient. It will arrive. Okay, let's talk sumo. Share my screen here. Oh, I also want to share some photos with you. Do you guys want to do that first? Sure, let's do that first. All right, I've never done this before, so I hope it works okay. So if I make this big, I just picked a few from my trip. So here is me outside Tokyo Disneyland, and I went there on Friday, the 27th, and I met a guy named Roland, who was from Texas, but he lives in Japan. Wonderful guy, and he's a fan of the channel, and we had a great time. So just a few pictures. There's Cinderella's Castle, the Tokyo version. Pretty crowded, but not crazy. Cold, but not crazy. Overcast, but didn't rain until around 5 p.m. So we got lucky. I would say overall, we never waited any ride more than like 10 or 15 minutes, except Pooh's Honey Hunt and Beauty and the Beast. Those were the only two rides we had to wait more than, like, say, 15 or 20 minutes. This is the Beauty and the Beast castle. Some people thought this was the Cinderella's castle. So this is the Beauty and the Beast ride. I believe this ride is only at Tokyo Disneyland. If I'm wrong, correct me in the comments. It is absolutely fantastic, guys. If you're a Disney fan, especially that film, but just of their rides, their trackless dark rides, it is amazing. Totally worth it. We waited about 60 minutes, 65 minutes in the queue, but the queue is really interactive and lots to look at, and kind of has that Haunted Mansion vibe where you all go into a big room and then blah, 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 and then you all get in your little cup. They had a Baymax ride. Baymax is a really popular character here, and that movie is actually called Baymax. I think it's called Superhero 6 or something in America. But he's still an enduring. I mean, look how cute he is. Japan is all about cute. So there is a Baymax ride. I don't know if that's specific to Tokyo. We didn't go on it though. It didn't look that interesting. Roland really wanted to go on It's a Small World, so I was like, okay, let's go. And I knew the song was going to get stuck in our head. A lot of the song is still sung in English, but of course there's a big portion where they sing it in Japanese. But the interesting thing about being on that ride for me, because I've gone on that ride 20 million times, is they've now started to insert movie characters into the, in the style of the dolls that are. So this is obviously Lilo and Stitch, and there's a bunch of them. So let me know if you've been to this It's a Small World in Florida, It's a Small World in California, because those are the two that I know. I don't know how they do it in Shanghai or some of the other Disneylands. Have they started to insert movie characters like Mowgli, Little Mermaid, and etc. into It's a Small World? They never, that never used to be like that. But it's been a while since I've been to Tokyo. I mean, regular Disneyland. One of the funnest rides to go on for me as a longtime Disney fan of Disneyland was the Jungle Cruise. because, you know, the Jungle Cruise, if you're a Disney person, you know, is all about the bad jokes, right? All the puns and you know, just silly lines that the driver of the boat is saying. And so we got to go, but of course, you know, he's Japanese. Everybody on the boat was Japanese except me and Roland. And um nobody was really laughing that much. I actually laughed because I can understand him mostly, but I actually laughed at a few of the lines because I knew the corresponding line in English. And I'm like, oh, this is where he would say they get the point in the end, you know, the rhinoceros, or, you know, he'll trade you 2 heads of his for 1 of yours, you know, the guy or whatever. And so I was laughing and people were looking at me like, why are you laughing? But anyway, that was kind of funny. Okay, so then Saturday at the Kokugikon, got there nice, bright and early, saw Hiro right after I took this picture of Hokuseiho, who of course is in Hakuho's stable. So he was outside greeting some of the dignitaries. There was like a separate line for them, and you can see this barrier set up. So people were standing there waiting to take pictures. This is what, like, how Steven Seagal, who was there, and Gact, and some of these people would have entered, as well as like Haruma Fuji and you know, his parents, and you know, his, not his parents, his mother is still alive, his family, etc. So I saw Hiro, and he didn't come over. I just sort of waved at him, and I just said, hey, I love the channel, and gave him a thumbs up, and he looked at me and goes, oh, thanks, and thumbed me up back. So he heard me and stuff. I have no idea. Some people ask me, do you think he knows about your channel? Do you think he knows who you are? I doubt it. Maybe, you know, it's been around for a long time, but would he recognize me or care who I am? Probably not. Anyway, so inside, lots of Hakuho stuff just all over the place. So I took a bunch of pictures, still wearing masks, of course. And so, you know, took the mask down. I love that glowering Hakuho there. There's the official, like, retirement ceremony. That's the cover of the program that I showed you in the other video. Big thing. And then a bunch of the sponsors, a lot of sponsors. So again, you know, in these events, the all the money raised by selling the tickets, the merchandise, this all goes to the wrestler. It's like their little retirement party. Hey, here's $100. Literally, you know, like, you know, my ticket money is going in your pocket. Now, obviously, he has to, you know, pay the Kokugikon, or you know, there's all kinds of costs involved, but whatever profit is left over goes to Hakuho. So it was crowded, you know, it was pretty much a sold out event. These are all the little tea shops that you can get, like your ticket where you're going to sit can also, you can get a bag of goods. And these people are, they're yellow bags that they're holding. So there's a whole like lane of them, and you can go by and pick up your bag of goods. Jeff was kind enough to go and get ours. And so I got a bag of goods, and it had like a bento in there, and it had some other stuff I'll mention in a minute. It had a thing of beer, a can of beer. It had a thing of a green tea, and just other stuff. And then it had some, it didn't have the program. I was hoping it would have the souvenir program, but it didn't. And then there were other exclusive goods you could buy. So this is kind of where my seats were. I was kind of under the overhang on the very back row, right by a door. And actually they set up the cameras right behind me. I was in like the last row, so I had nobody behind me. When I was leaning on this kind of iron bar, there was nobody behind me. So I was sitting alone in a 4-person box, which is nice because I'm a big person. So I took all the cushions, put like 2 cushions behind my back, and was sitting on one, and then my feet were on another. And Jeff would run over every now and then and sit in my box with me just so I wasn't lonely. But really what got to me, guys, is I'm just at the size now, you know, how much I weigh and everything. You know, I'm 53, sitting on basically the ground, you know, on the hard floor on this thin cushion for multiple hours in a row. Just, I can't do it. You know, I got to about 3 or 4 hours. See, I started sitting there around 10:15. Yeah, I think I gave up around 1:30. And I kind of meant to just go up, get up and go to the bathroom. But I was like, yeah, I think I'm done. And so I called Jeff over, or the next time he came by, and I gave my 2 seats to Sarah and her friend, because they were sitting way up in the boonies in some of these single seats. I was just like, you guys can come and sit down. And actually, I went out, and I think I've told you this story already. The line I ended up getting in to buy souvenirs was so long that I was like standing in line for like 45 minutes. And I really needed to pee. So I went to the restroom, and then I probably could have gone back and sat down. It was like a nice break. And but you know, I knew that they were, I wasn't going to try to sit with them in my seat. And etc. And yeah, so I left a little early, went back to the hotel before the dinner that night. But I saw Haruma Fuji. I saw so many people out in the halls while I was waiting to get souvenirs, wrestlers who were walking around and blah blah blah. So it was a lot of fun. I had a great day though. Thank you to I really have to thank Robert. I don't know if I've mentioned this, but Robert at Big Sumo Fan bought my ticket. I honestly, I don't even know how much it was. I think it was around, well, I mean, I sat in my seat by myself, and it was a two-person seat, or it might have even been a four-person seat. I don't know. Around me, there were four people sitting in boxes. And again, it's like there was a time when Japanese people were small enough, on average, the average height, the average weight of most Japanese people. Okay. And Japanese people know how to sit in seiza with their feet under them and blah, blah, blah. But nowadays, more and more modern people, they don't want to sit on a cushion. I mean, there were so many people where the big bag of like souvenirs that you got was taking up a whole cushion. And like one person wasn't even able to sit in the box because the other three people would be in there with their souvenirs, and they would go stand. I mean, it was ridiculous. I think the Kokugikan really needs to rethink its seating. I realize it's tradition and stuff, but they're just too small. And Japanese people are getting bigger. Foreigners, I'm telling you, if you ever go to the Kokugikan, unless you're going to try to put four people in one of those boxes, you better all be very flexible, slender people. I did it one time long ago in Nagoya. I don't know if you guys know a J vlogger named Victor who lives in Nagoya. So give me a break, man. So I met Victor, and with him, he got some tickets. And so he's like, "Do you want to come to sumo?" I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Okay, well, I'm going to bring my friend, so and so, and my other friend who's traveling, a tourist, so and so." So it was four adult males, and I wasn't as big as I am now. This was like 10 years ago, but I was still a big guy. Victor's not a small guy. And we crammed into this tiny box. Now, luckily, back then, sumo wasn't so popular, and a bunch of boxes around us were empty. So after kind of like the Makuuchi started, we realized these people aren't going to come, and they're not coming. So two of us got up and sat like a row back in the box behind us, and then two of us sat, and it was fine. Two people in one of those boxes, very doable. But four adults, you got to be slender, I think, or very flexible. And so yeah, that's sumo seating. All right, but there I was at the Kokugikan having a great time, wearing my Yokozuna Hakuho shirt. Ironically, the week my channel gets obliterated, and on the back it says, "I watch all of the Yokozuna matches on Jason's All Sumo channel." It's my little advertisement on the back of that shirt. I sold that shirt for about 2 weeks, and then somebody said, "Hey, don't do that. Hakuho owns his name. You can't, even though there's no picture or whatever, it just says the word Hakuho. He could, come at you, or the Sumo Association or something. That's like his copyright." And I was like, "Oh, okay. I never meant, So wearing one shirt, and people don't mind because you just say, "Oh, I made it." You can make one shirt for yourself as long as you don't sell it, right? As long as you're not making a profit, but you can't put it on a store and say, "Here, now I'm going to make money off of this thing." So yeah, so a lot of people loved my shirt when I went up to like souvenir booths and people were just walking around and stuff. So it was fun to wear that, sitting on my booth. So you can see there's nobody behind me. This brown thing back here is like a door to the major hallway. And these seats right up above what would that be? My right hand shoulder are the like really special seats where there's like a table and like four like kind of like comfy chairs in like a bigger box. But I don't know. That would be like box seats in an NFL game or something like that. I have no idea how much those cost or how you get them. They're probably for sponsors and stuff. Okay, so I have a lot of pictures, but again, you guys know my handshake and I had my iPhone, and so I took some pictures. I'm there at the moment. I took some video. I posted one of those on the channel. And but you have to kind of know who the people are. They're not, my iPhone can only zoom so much. But they had some matches, and some of them were really fun. People really got into it. And then of course Hakuho did his dohyo iri, and that's the video I posted on the channel. And then he came out and sat. They put some red carpet down so people didn't have to take off their shoes to walk on the dohyo. But of course, no women were allowed. And you can see some of the people dressed in their Mongolian garb around. And, the people came out and sang the national anthem. And then he got snip, snip, snip. And that's about when I gave up and left. And he was still getting snips. And then, of course, he's supposed to go off and get a haircut and come back out. And I heard he didn't. Another surprising thing was Asashoru wasn't there, but he's supposedly, him and Hakuho are the bestie of friends. So there you go. But a lot of other sumo luminaries were there. A lot of just famous people in general. You can watch the Sumo Primetime video of Hakuho's ceremony, and he goes into a lot of it. There was this absolutely, and this photo does not do her justice, about 3 rows in front of me, absolutely gorgeous 28 to 35-year-old woman in a full-on like traditional kimono with the obi in the back and all this stuff. And guys, she was stunning, just absolutely gorgeous. And she came with this other older woman in normal clothes, and they sat in this 2-person box. And I was like, this is so interesting. I wonder if she's a sumo fan. Why don't I'm a sumo fan. I'd like to meet some nice, and then of course, about 2 hours after the stuff started, this old, I don't want to call him a Yakuza, but he looked like an old, sumo crime boss kind of guy. Sumo, what am I trying to say? No, that's not what I'm trying to say. Anyway, just this older Japanese guy, way older than me, had to be in his 60s, in a very dapper suit, sat down in the box with another younger guy, and her, and she was, totally attendant to him and everything. I'm like, oh man, that's sugar daddy action right there. But she was gorgeous. So this is the picture I took of the guy who I thought was Enho, and everybody's like, no, that's not Enho. That's some other guy whose name is like Raiho or something, or Renho or something. And but I think they were wearing the same, this is not a very flashy robe here and belt. And so he's in Hakuho stable as well in a lower rank. And I think him and Enho were dressed the same, because I did see Enho that day waiting in line. So I picked the one where he's got his eyes closed, damn it. There's me and Ochiai. I do have one with his eyes open. But anyway, so we're going to talk about him in a second. He is the Makushita man that just got promoted to Juryo. And him and I are about the same height. He's about 6 foot, and him and I we could compete belly wise, but just look at his hands. His hands are like massive. He's just a big, thick person. And he obviously doesn't have a chonmage yet. He's only 19, and he's come up through the ranks so quickly. Let me see if I can find here. Let me finish my little slideshow, and then I'll see if I can find a better picture. So there's me outside. So I obviously left before the crowds. There's the Kokugikan with the famous green roof and everything. And it turned out to be a nice day, blue sky and everything. And this was the package I got that I tweeted about with the Hakuho and his handprint. Like, what do you think's inside? And it ended up being this awesome plate with the Miyagino and his name, and the white phoenix, and not plate, bowl. It's like a bowl. So that was given as a souvenir, and so very happy to have that. Let me see here if I can pick a different one. Let's see. There he goes. So he's got his eyes open. So yeah, and you can see all my bags here. My bag of souvenirs, and I brought this bag, and I had another thing, and I'm just buying a bunch of stuff to give away to you guys, some of it. So there you go. Okay, let's jump into some of the other stuff we need to talk about. So we'll go back over to the internets, and we'll get rid of that. Thank you, Jonah. All right, why don't we do the contest first? No, I said we talk about sumo. Let's talk about sumo. Okay, so Takikeisho won the tournament. And like I said, he has got a 12-3 record. So he is the champion. Now, of course, some of you will say, well, he didn't beat a Yokozuna. And that's true. But, that's happened a lot. It's not like that's unusual. 12-3 is decent. It's not, 13-2, 14-1 is a little bit more dominant, of course, but it's respectable. He did win it outright, didn't have to do a playoff or anything. So he's obviously set himself up. He's not going to become a Yokozuna. There was some talk that if he won this tournament, because he'd been a runner-up at 12-3 in the playoff in November, that if he won this one, but I think he would have needed to win 15-0 or 14-1. And so he's not going to be a Yokozuna yet. He will have to fight again. But obviously, in March, if he wins the tournament, no questions, he will become a Yokozuna in May, and he'll be the first Japanese Yokozuna since Kiseno Sato. So if you don't know that name, if you're a newer sumo fan, it's been a long time. And actually, since 2003, when Asashoru became the lone Yokozuna, every Yokozuna since 2003 to now, and that's 20 years, guys, has been Mongolian, with the exception of Kiseno Sato. So, and Kiseno Sato was only a Yokozuna for like 8 tournaments, of which he only competed in, I think, 3. So to say that the Japanese fans would love to have Takakeisho as a Japanese native as a Yokozuna is, such an understatement. So that's a huge deal. If he doesn't even win, but again, he's runner-up with, if he's runner-up with a really good record, let's say Terunofuji comes back and just goes on a tear and wins a Zensho Yusho 15-0, and Takakeisho goes 14-1, and his only loss is to Terunofuji, he would become a Yokozuna, right? That kind of scenario, even if he doesn't win the Yusho, but he does really, really good, putting the pressure on the winner, et cetera, he would get promoted. But really what he has to do is he has to win in March. If he can win in March, then no questions asked. I think all the asterisks go out the window too. Back-to-back Yusho wins is difficult. Doesn't matter when it is or who's on the dohyo against you. It's tough. So if he can, muscle it up and find a way to get that second Yusho in a row, he will be a Yokozuna. And we probably need that. And that's the big question mark hanging over this next tournament. What's going to be the status of Terunofuji? And as we get more and more closer, the tournament starts on March 12th, and I'll probably put up the welcome video on March 5th. So by March 5th, I hope we're hearing some scuttlebutt about the health of Terunofuji. How are his knees doing? Is he coming back? Et cetera, because that is the big question hanging over everything. All right. All right. So this, of course, is the official site, and you can go and so the Juryo Championship won by Asanoyama. Some people are like, do you think he's going to get promoted? I think he's going to stay in Juryo one more tournament. We haven't found that out yet exactly. And there's Ochiai, right? And he is in Miyagi-no-Beya, which is Hakuho stable, 7-0 record, and 19 years old. So just, he'll be 20 in August. So he's still even got a ways to go before he's 20. And he should be quite a formidable opponent in Juryo. But it's a big step up because you're not only fighting Juryo guys like yourself who are coming up and on the rise, but you're fighting guys who have a lot of experience that are coming down, that have been in the big show, as it were, in Makuuchi, and now find themselves in Juryo for whatever reason. And you're going to go up against guys who are so seasoned and in very formidable opponents. It's a big test. So I wish him well. I hope he does good. And then some of the prize winners, there was no Shikunsho. Koto Shoho, of course, number 13, and with 11-4. So he'll go way up the Banzuke. Got the Kanto show. And Kiribayama at Komusubi getting the Ginosho. And we expect him to be at Sekewake in March. All right, so let's look at good old Fred. If you don't know Fred's chart, you go over here and he puts the chart up. You can get it as a JPEG or a PDF. He also does this weight stuff that's kind of fun. And so thank you to Fred as always. Good guy. So he makes this chart here. And here's the January update because this is the results, right? The one I used in the welcome video, everything was blank. So here's everything with the results. Takakeisho's third championship, another 12-3 for him. And he's had a pretty good run. He was 10-5 in September, 12-3 in November, runner-up. And I believe the previous tournament to this in July, he went 11-4. So he's getting double-digit wins consistently, and I think he has a very good chance of winning, especially, of course, if Terunofuji doesn't show up. Wakatake Kage and Hoshoru both winning to secure their rank at Sekewake, so there should be no change there. Of course, Takayasu will go down, way down. And Shodai, of course, 6-9. Probably won't even be able to hold on to Komusubi with that, and will go out into the Maegashira ranks. Kiribayama we should have 3 Sekewake because they should promote him. An 11-4 at Komusubi. I can't imagine them denying him. And there's no reason to. We've had 3 or 4 Sekewake recently, and we clearly don't have any Ozeki. The only Ozeki on the Banzuke for March will be Takakeisho. So, I think they'll put Kiribayama up. Kotonowaka normally with an 8-7 would go up if there was an open slot, but I think he'll be denied and he'll just have to stay. Like, here's the 8-7 that Kiribayama got. He didn't get to go up. He just had to stay at Komusubi. That's what's going to happen to Kotonowaka. And then, a bunch of guys right here who could all take another Komusubi slot. Wakamoto Haru. It's 9-6. Interesting. So they might just say, hey, that's it. These 2 guys will be our 2 Komusubi. But at 10-5 at M1, Daisho, they got to give him a Komusubi slot. They can't keep him at M1 like that. So I think we're going to have 3 Sekewake and 3 Komusubi again. And they probably don't mind doing that because there's no Ozeki and possibly no Yokozuna. I mean, we have one, but he might not show up. So I think that's what's going to happen. But I think Tobizaru, this 8-7, he eked out a victory here at M1. He might have to just stay at M1. And then like this 9-6 Tamawashi, sometimes you would leapfrog up to Komusubi with that kind of a record, but I think he'll just go up to M1. Abi probably go up to M2, et cetera, et cetera. Who's going to be going down? Nishikifuji, with this 4-11 right here. That's going to be going way down the Banzuke. Ichinojo, of course, was suspended. M7, I don't think he's going to go all the way out of Makuuchi. I don't think he's going to go all the way down to Juryo unless they really want to slap him hard. I think he'll just go down to like Maegashira 15, way down toward the bottom of the Banzuke, but he'll probably just eat it up down there. So it's not the worst place for him to come back. And he showed up at the Fuji TV tournament, which we'll talk about in a minute. That was about a week ago. So I think he's fine as far as health and ability. Of course, Okinoumi retired. Where's Okinoumi? Did he put him on the list? Yeah, there he is. So he opens up a slot because he retired, as you know. And then who else did well? Chiyomaru is going down 4-11. These guys with a 7-8 and M15, they'll probably both just go down 1 to M16. But you never know. The other person is Tochinoshin, 2 wins and basically 13 losses at M11. So he should go down to Juryo. Now, we haven't heard anything about him retiring yet, so he might choose to wrestle one tournament at Juryo to see if he can bounce right back up, and then maybe he'll retire if he has to stay in Juryo. We don't know. So that's the other big question mark. I think the 2 big question marks: health of Tochinoshin, health of Terunofuji. What's the status of Tochinoshin? Especially for fans of my channels. Tochinoshin's been such a big part of the channel. I know you guys are very curious what's going to happen with him. So there you go. Lots to look forward to in March. And like I said, I will be there live on day 14. We have arena seats. So if you go over to buy sumo tickets, this is Jeff's website. So please, if you're traveling and you're going to come and you need tickets for a basho, if you don't have a friend in Japan to get them for you or something else like that, consider using Jeff. Good guy, and he takes care of his customers. He's always taking care of me. And so you just click on this and you can see where the the arena is. It's right here, and what stations it's close to. It's close to this station called Namba. Okay. But the main Osaka station is, where is it? Up here. Here's Osaka Umeda. Okay. So it's not far, and it's easy to get to. It's about a 5-minute walk from this Osaka Namba station to the arena. And you can go here and just see a bunch of pictures of it, and they even advertise it with the sumo picture because they know it's coming up. And of course, Osaka in this part of Japan. So as you pull out, USJ is here, Universal Studios Japan. There's a wonderful aquarium in Osaka you can go visit. Nara over here has the famous Todaiji, the Daibutsu, the huge statue of the Buddha in a temple, and many other famous historical buildings. And of course, Kyoto's nearby. Kyoto is kind of like the spiritual capital of Japan. Lots of famous temples and shrines, and famous castle, and the one that's all covered in gold is there, and Kinkakuji, etc. Nearby is Kobe, which I love. Kobe, it's a great city. This is usually where I stay in my hotel, and then I take a train over to Osaka. It's about an hour on the train. Not even that if you get one of the rapids. You can also take a little boat across the bay. And Himeji's out here, which is where I might go. There's the picture of the castle right there. It pops up. It's probably the most famous thing in Himeji. That's where I might take my niece and Alex on the Sunday, depending on, or we might go to Nara. I suggested both. Himeji is, I think there's a rapid that gets you there in maybe 65, 70 minutes, but this is only about 30 minutes by train. So yeah, it just depends how they want to spend their day, what they want to see. And then I live way over here. So here we open up to a whole map of Japan, and you can kind of see. So this is Osaka. The other tournament is in Nagoya in July. Of course, 3 of them happen here in Tokyo, in this part of Honshu. I live down here in the Chugoku region. And then I used to live here in Shimane. You've heard me talk about Shimane a lot. And then the other one is in Fukuoka, the Kyushu Basho. This is Kyushu Island. That's where the November tournament is. And then the 4 main islands, this is Shikoku. And the big one up here is Hokkaido, which is famous for winter stuff. They're about to have their snow festival. And Okinawa is part of Japan. It's down here. Islands that are very tropical and beachy. And yeah, that's Japan. Okay. But getting back to his site, so you can go, and it says pre-orders begin, tickets on sale February 5th. And you can order tickets, and you can see the map, and pick your seats, and 4-person box. So I'm going to be sitting in these arena seats. They don't have any armrests, so I know I can fit, and I actually bought 4. So that's what I kind of do nowadays, just because I don't want to bother other people. So I can kind of sit in 2. I probably can't put a butt cheek on each, but I just have room to kind of spread out. And then one for Alex, one for Brittany. And Alex is a big guy too. He's taller than me, and I think he's like 6'2", and a well-built guy. And my niece is kind of small, but yeah. So, and we're on an aisle, so plenty of room. And they have a little cushion, and I hope they're comfy. I've never actually sat in them. And so we're in Arena A right here. And so as you can see the little shikiri-sen here, so you can tell that here's going to be a wrestler and here's going to be a wrestler. So from where I'm sitting, I actually don't know if I'm on the front or the back. I think I'm on the front. I haven't looked at my tickets yet. But either way, I'm going to be looking down onto the action. And like the 2 wrestlers are going to be perpendicular to me, which is great because you can see the tachi. It just depends. If you're on one side, you get the gyoji sort of in your way. On the other side, you're looking at I'm assuming front means the gyoji's over here. And so you kind of, maybe that's the premium. And then there's all the different boxes and different prices, and you can break it all down. And so it's all there on his website. So I'll put a link to that. Buy Sumo tickets. You can go there if you need tickets for future. Now he's sponsoring with Tachi. Let's see if it's on, if I can find it quickly. This is tachiai.org, by the way. Buy sumo tickets contest winner. So him and Tachiai have teamed up, and they're giving away tickets to every basho this year in 2023. So follow Tachiai on Twitter or look at their website and see how you can enter. If you know you're going to be in Japan in May or July or September, enter, get some free tickets to sumo. So that's great that he's doing that with them. So they pointed out the people who are going to come up from Juryo. I'm sorry, up from Makushita to Juryo, Tokushoryu, Tomokaze, both have been in Juryo before, and then the two brand new guys are Tamashoho, who's 29, and Ochiai, the 19-year-old. So those are the four guys that are coming up. Four guys will go down. And then we'll see who will get promoted up from Juryo into Makuuchi and go down. They lose their Maigashira ranks and go down into Juryo. And so there you go. And he talks a little bit about that. So there are really some really good English language information here. Tachiai.org. Go give them some love. And an interesting little article. I just wish sometimes they don't always put a byline. Oh, maybe they do more recently. So this says Andy, so you know who wrote it. So here's a case. I don't want Takakeisho to become a Yokozuna. And you can read his reasons. And here's somebody, Bruce, a longtime guy. Bruce, just a fantastic dude. And he said, yes, Takakeisho should become a Yokozuna. So you can read his points. And somebody wrote a really nice article up here. And let's see if here's me. Looks like Jason is up and running with a new channel. I am. Thank you for giving me some love. So he's talking about what's happening on YouTube. Let's see if they gave us. Oh, it's Andy. Okay. So how much, we're all like, So he talks about how he found sumo and how he found my channel, and Arabria, another guy who was really active on the YouTube scene for a while, and they kept shutting him down. And so, yeah. And here they talk about the Fuji TV tournament, which, in years past, I might have tried to put up on the channel, but can't do that anymore. And Hakuho's retirement ceremony. This is a video worth checking out on Sumo Prime Time. And so there's Ochiai again. And one of the women who helps run a stable, Okami-san. And so tachiai.org, go check them out. Let's see what else we got up here in tabs. So Robert, again, thank you for the ticket, and just all kinds of fun goods. Sumo Puppy, if you haven't picked that up yet, you can also get that at Amazon, but he's got it on sale. He's got some of the calendars, 2023 calendars. He's got the newest trading cards, and the smaller price means that that's per pack, but if you click, I think you can also buy a box. Let's see. And he's selling boxes for 77. And guys, that's actually a pretty good price, because the list price on a box in Japan is 8,000 yen, which, considering he's importing them, and then, this is what he normally has to sell them at, 120. And so if you're interested in these cards, $77 for a whole box unopened is pretty good, because you have a pretty good chance of getting an autograph. But anyway, just, love his store. He's a friend of the channel, helps out with prizes all the time. So just pages and pages of swag there. If you hit view all, just so much stuff to look at. So go check that out if you're in the mood for some stuff. I felt it was remiss that I hadn't mentioned Sumo Reference, I think, in some past videos, which is SumoDB, the Sumo database. And I believe this is hosted somewhere in Europe. It's .de, so somebody can inform me. Is that Denmark? Anyway, it could be Deutschland. It could be like Germany. I don't know. But just the amount of information that's on this website. I think he has some problems sometimes with funding to the bandwidth or the storage, or I don't know a lot about computers, sorry. But sometimes you'll click on it and the website will not be there. It doesn't go away, but sometimes the hosting of it, I've heard it goes down or something, but yeah, you can just click on so many things of so many people, and the amount of statistics and stuff you can click on and find, and just, every tournament, and it's all updated. And if you want to find out about Okinaumi, and then you want to say, oh gosh, he got a June show, what happened here, and here's all the guys he won and lost to and their records and blah blah blah. I mean, it's just the amount of statistical information here is staggering, and it's such a great resource. So definitely put that in your bookmarks. If you're a sumo fan, you should know about this website, and I will link it down in the description. All right, and then I talked about Fred. Definitely check out Fred. And okay, so now let's talk about the contest. All right, so I never said how many people were going to win. I think maybe I mentioned it verbally, but in writing here it doesn't say. So 833 of you entered, okay, just to win something. And like I said, you had to pick who was going to win and what their record was going to be. So in my actual results page, here's all the people that picked Takekeisho. Let's see how many of you. Oops, sorry, I went too far. 227 of you picked Takekeisho, but 60 of you, and here you are in the blue, and I don't want to leave this up on screen too long because there's emails and stuff up there. But 60 of you picked Takekeisho and picked 12 and 3. So what I'm going to do is I bought a bunch of stuff. Okay. So let me stop sharing for a minute. So I bought a bunch of stuff. One thing I put together that's kind of fun, I think, is this little pack of Hakuho cards. So this starts in 2018. Okay. And there's what he looked like when he was age 18. Okay. And just some of the recent 2019, 2020, 2021 cards. Okay. And of course, they all have stuff on the back, and, his official card and stats and everything. And so there's about 8 cards here. Okay. Because he's obviously no longer in the sets anymore now that he's retired. So just a little starter kit if you want to have some Hakuho cards. It's not like his debut card, his rookie card is in here or anything, but this would be easy for me to mail. So if you want that, that's an easy prize. So what else did I buy? Well, I showed in the other video a bunch of the prizes. So I feel like go watch that video. I got keychains, and you can put them on the little stand here. So this is a keychain, but I don't use it as a keychain. This is Okinaumi, and he just sits in front of my computer like that because you get this little stand to put him in. Okay, so I got a bunch of these guys. I got magnets. I got towels. I have some tegata. I have some handprints. I have these sumo notebooks that have even like more fun stuff inside. I have so much stuff. Okay, so I just kind of want to give away some stuff. So without being too specific, if you win, just send me 2 or 3 of your favorite wrestlers. Okay, I can be slightly older. I still have a Haruma Fuji t-shirt. If one of you is really interested in that, I'm happy to give that away. I bought it from myself to give as a prize, and it's like a size American XL. And I can show it on camera sometime. It's green. It's exactly like the Hakuho one I was wearing in that picture, except it says the Yokozuna is Haruma Fuji, and then says Jason's All Sumo Channel on the back. But it's not long sleeve, it's short sleeve. I've got that. I've got a Tochinoshin, I think, Tegata. Not enough, not a reproduction, the ones you can buy for like $10-15 at the souvenir stands. I've got little towels. I've got a few bigger towels. So just let me know kind of what kind of goods you might want. Oh, I think this would be good. Or do you have something like this? And I've got clear files. This is a Batman one, of course, but where you put like stuff in it, and it's got 2 sides, got wrestlers on both sides or something. I've got that kind of stuff. So I've just got a lot of stuff, and it would be nice to not get rid of it, but pass it along to someone. And the smaller stuff, it's easier to mail, it's cheaper. And the tip jar is still open. I don't think many people are going to go buy anymore, but if you want to, thanks. I really appreciate it. But that kind of money will help, pay for the cost of shipping and that kind of stuff. Okay, so what happened is when the two people didn't ever contact me about the calendar, the fourth person, the backup person, was somebody named Adjaar, Adjaar, and I'd never contacted him, her, because I thought these other people would contact me. He also correctly picked Takikeisho 12 and 3. So Adjaar, you are a winner. I'm just going to make you a winner before I even, do random Google number. So Adjaar, you are one of the winners. And I'm going to give five prizes away. So he's number one, and then we've got 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. So here we go on my little cheat sheet here. I'm going to write down. So we're going to pick 4 more people live right now to give away a prize to, out of those 60 people minus Adjaar, who correctly picked Takikeisho 12 and 3. I won't be doing a contest in March. The channel's just sort of getting back. I'm not, I don't know what's kind of going on. And I'm not even going to be around the final weekend so much. So I'm not going to do a contest in March. Okay. But I am going to do a contest in May. I do want to keep doing it. It's a lot of fun. It's easy to do. Mike helps me out behind the scenes with it. There's no reason we can't still have fun and do the, pick 5 guys, whichever group of 5 wrestlers get the most wins, and I'll send prizes. I don't mind doing that at all. And since I'm going to Osaka in March, I will buy some more stuff to give away. Okay. So let me pick up Google number here on my phone. I'll bring the page back up and we'll pick some more people. All right. So Google random number generator. All right. So we'll just renumber those people 1 to 60. Okay. So you're not really going to be able, well, I'll try to make it be able to see. So Google random number generator. All right. So let me share my screen. Okay. So here are the people. Okay. So Adjaar is down here. Let's just find him really quick. He was number 207. So I forget what that is. That's like, oh man. I'm just gonna write down the numbers and then I'll figure it out and tell you. Yeah, that's like number 207. Now I have to use my brain. And 219 is the end. So that's like 47 or 48. Okay. If that number had come up. So if that number comes up, then I'll spin again because it's already been taken. Okay, so here we go. Generate. Okay, number 20. Ooh, this will be easy. Okay. So 70 is actually, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 69 is 10. So 79. Eugene Aldrin. I'm just going to put Eugene down here. Eugene A. You are a winner. Welcome. I'm going to obviously email all these people quickly as well. All right. All right. Generate. And wait, he was number 20. So let me put that down there. Okay. 43. And now it gets harder. Okay. So 69, 169. That's 10, 20, 30, 99 is 40, 41, 42, 43 is 202. Brucker Cedric. Brucker Cedric, you are a winner. Congratulations. 202. Okay, which is 43. All right. All right. Generate 16. All right, I'm going to go back. All right, so 16, this is 10. All right. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Butchozuna. Butchozuna. Kind of fun. Butchozuna. Okay, Butchozuna. Hopefully you're still around. Thomas, it looks like from your email. And you were 16, which is also 175. Okay. And the final person to win a prize for, this is for the January basho, is, oh, it just went back 2 spots, 14. It is random, folks. Okay, so 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 173. Timothy, who goes by Tosamidori Fuji. Tosamidori Fuji. All right, and he's 173, which was number 14 on the random number generator. Okay. I know that was exciting stuff. So Eugene, Brucker, Butchozuna, and Tosamidori Fuji, as well as Adjaar, you are the 5 winners. Yay! Q piped in electronic applause music. Yay! And I will send you something. So again, I'll send you an email, but send me what you kind of would like, what kind of goods, what are you interested in? Trading cards, some kind of something else, keychain, towel, magnets. I have little fans, just watch some of the older videos. There's lots of stuff, and I'll try to hook you up with something that to do with your favorite wrestler. And if not, I'll email you back and say, hey, is this okay? And hopefully it is, because hey, it's free and it's coming your way. So thank you for all the people that entered the contest, all 800 of you back in the January tournament. And yeah, so what else do I have coming up? So probably sometime between now and March 5th, when I'm going to do the welcome video like normal, I will do an unboxing video. So that'll be another video that will be on this channel. And I'm just going to open a box of the brand newest sumo cards and hopefully get an autograph and show you and see how many I get for a set, yada yada. So if you're a fan of that, and we talked about sumo, maybe I'll even do it as a live stream so I can take questions while I'm doing it. That could be fun. So I'll try to tweet out information about that. Next weekend, I might, when I might do it? I might do it on the 23rd. Well, that's probably not going to be good if I do it as a live stream, because the 23rd is the Emperor's birthday and I have the day off work. But maybe I'll do it that next weekend, 25, 26. Let's just say that. Okay, 25, 26. And if I do it as a live stream, I'll probably do it on Sunday the 26th, my time. So it'll be Saturday the 25th for a lot of you. So follow me on Twitter. All that information is down in the description. Thank you for watching this long video. I think it got out of hand a little bit, but I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for supporting the new channel. And yeah, come on back for more sumo stuff and somewhat regular welcome video. We'll talk about everything we think is going to be happening in March. And I definitely will make a day 1 video after the matches have happened and talk about the results and stuff. So those videos will kind of have implied spoilers, but I'll mention that again as those videos come up. So maybe don't watch my recap of the day until you've watched the matches if you don't want to know who won and lost ahead of time, which is completely understandable. Let me know who you're rooting for in the Super Bowl today, tomorrow for me, but if you're a fan, and you're really passionate about the Eagles and Chiefs, right? Okay, I think I got that right. Yeah, let me know what else. Are you looking forward to Ant-Man and Quantumania? I am. It's coming out on the 17th here in Japan, just like most of the rest of the world. So I plan on going to see that next weekend. All right, guys, have some green tea and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you for watching this video. I'll see you soon. Peace.